Welcome back to Book Shorts, the channel where books come alive in minutes. Today, we're diving deep into the chilling origins of one of fiction's most ruthless villains, before Katniss Everdeen, before the rebellion. There was a boy named Coriolanus Snow, and his story? It's darker and more twisted than you ever imagined. Get ready for betrayal, ambition, love, and the birth of tyranny. This is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. Not just a prequel, but a psychological descent into power and survival. If you love gripping stories that stay with you long after the credits roll, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a story summary from Book Shorts. Now let's begin. Long before Katniss Everdeen volunteered as tribute, a different Hunger Games was being fought, one that would shape the dark heart of Panem's future. This is the story of a young Coriolanus Snow, not yet the villain we know, but a desperate teenager clawing for power in a world where everything is a game and everyone is a player. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is a chilling origin story that dives into the twisted roots of tyranny, deceit, and ambition. The 10th Hunger Games are fast approaching, but things in the capital are very different. The games are still new primitive, and not yet the grand spectacle they would one day become. Audiences are bored, tributes are barely noticed, and the capital is searching for a way to make people care. Enter the students of the academy. This year, for the first time ever, capital students will serve as mentors to the tributes. It's a desperate move to add drama, but for one student, this is a golden opportunity. Coriolanus Snow is the last hope of his fading family name. Once rich and powerful, the Snows are now hanging on by a thread. His parents are dead, his clothes are secondhand, and his meals are barely enough to keep up appearances. But his charm, intellect, and fierce determination are his weapons, and he plans to use them to win the coveted Plinth Prize, a scholarship that could restore his family's status. To get it, he must be the best mentor. Victory is not optional. But fate has a cruel sense of irony. Coriolanus is assigned the most unlikely tribute. Of them all, Lucy Gray Baird, a girl from District 12 known more for her singing than her survival skills. When she makes a dramatic entrance at the reaping by slipping a snake into the mayor's daughter's dress and then singing a haunting ballad, she immediately captures the capital's attention. She's theatrical, mysterious, and unpredictable. Everything the games need. And suddenly Coriolanus sees a path to glory. What begins as strategy soon turns into something else. Coriolanus and Lucy Gray form an uneasy bond. He teaches her how to navigate the capital's cruelty while she disarms him with her charm and cunning. Lucy Gray isn't like the other tributes. She doesn't fight with fists, but with her mind and voice. She sings to survive, tells stories, to manipulate, and plays every angle. Together, they build a performance that turns her into a capital darling. But in the Hunger Games, the odds are never truly in anyone's favor. The arena is a crumbling zoo, a place of rust and shadows. The games are brutal, chaotic, and deadly. There are no sponsors, no grand feasts, just death and desperation. Coriolanus watches in horror and fascination as Lucy Gray navigates the madness using her wit and instincts. With each kill and each victory, she inches closer to survival, and he inches closer to something he never expected to feel: love or maybe obsession. But the capital is watching, and so is Dr. Gall, the sadistic head game maker, who believes the games are a tool of control, a way to remind the districts of their place. She sees potential in Coriolanus, not for his charm, but for his darkness. She pushes him, tests him, and shows him that chaos is the true nature of people. It's a lesson he will never forget. As Lucy Gray fights in the arena, Coriolanus begins bending the rules. He cheats, manipulates, and even commits acts of violence to keep her alive. Each decision pulls him deeper into moral grayness. He's no longer a student playing a game, he's a player in a real one. When the games finally end, Lucy Gray emerges victorious thanks in part to Coriolanus' help. He should feel triumphant. Instead, he feels exposed. His rule-breaking is discovered. As punishment, he is sent to District 12 to serve as a peacekeeper, a lowly soldier keeping order in one of the poorest districts. It should be a death sentence for his ambitions. But fate brings him back to Lucy Gray. She's there, living in the wilderness with a group of musicians and rebels known as the Covey. Their reunion is charged with secrets and uncertainty. Away from the capital, without the cameras between them, something real could finally grow, or unravel. At first, life in District 12 seems like a second chance. Coriolanus finds comfort in the quiet charm of the woods and Lucy Gray's songs and the idea of escaping everything he once knew. But that darkness inside him won't stay quiet. He's not built for peace. He wants power control certainty. When he stumbles upon evidence of an illegal weapons cache and potential rebellion, he's faced with a choice. Stay with Lucy Gray and abandon everything he was raised to be, or use this information to claw his way back to the top. He chooses ambition. Always, but it comes at a cost. When his friend Sejanus Plinth, a kind-hearted idealist, begins working with the rebels, Coriolanus betrays him to protect himself. His actions lead to Sejanus's execution. It's a moment that marks the final fracture in Coriolanus's soul. He tells himself it was necessary, but deep down something breaks. Now he has blood on his hands and nothing left to lose. He plans to run away with Lucy Gray into the wilderness to escape it all. But Lucy Gray is not a fool. She senses the change in him. She doesn't trust him anymore. And when she realizes the truth about his betrayal, they both know there's no going back. Their final moments together are a chilling game of cat and mouse in the woods. Lucy Gray vanishes like a ghost, leaving behind only a scarf and a snake. Coriolanus is left alone with the forest echoing her final haunting song. He shoots blindly into the trees, hoping to silence the truth, the guilt, the past. But she is gone, and he is changed. He returns to the capital cold, determined, and ready to become the man history will remember. Dr. Gall welcomes him back. He takes his place at the university, beginning his rise through the political ranks. He erases the boy he was and becomes President Snow, the master of manipulation, the architect of cruelty. The games become grander, deadlier, a perfect reflection of his belief that fear is stronger than love. In the end, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is not just a prequel. It's a tragedy. A story of a boy who might have loved a girl, but loved power more. A story of how innocence dies and monsters are born. Lucy Gray's voice fades into legend, but Snow's rule becomes law. The songbird flew and the snake remained. This haunting origin story pulls back the curtain on one of literature's most iconic villains, revealing that the seeds of tyranny are often planted in desperation, watered by fear, and bloomed in ambition. Suzanne Collins weaves a complex and unsettling portrait of a boy who could have been good but chose control. Because in Panem, survival isn't about who you are, it's about who you're willing to become. If you want to listen full audiobook, for free, link in description,